The movie opens with Pete, an undercover agent for the FBI's field office in NYC. He has worked his way into a Polish crime organization and is currently providing his handler with solid evidence to indict the crime boss, referred to as the General. He informs his wife, Sophia, and daughter, Anna, that they must travel because the long-awaited operation has begun. Erica, Pete's handler, informs her team about Pete's plan to deliver the 6 pounds of fentanyl to the General, which is where they come in. Pete locks his family in a warehouse and gives his wife the key. She revealed that if he does not return by 1 p.m. the following day, she must leave the state. He meets Erica in a torn-down restroom. She gives him a phone for calls and a wire to transmit his conversations. They plan that if things go wrong, he should excuse himself to smoke, and Erica's crew will come rescue him. Stasek, one of the General's most trusted men, and Pete meet a diplomat carrying fentanyl. Following the plan, they place the fentanyl in another bag and drop the diplomat off at the hotel. Stasek goes to get a bottle of liquor for the General, his uncle. He chooses to surprise Pete with cash instead of fentanyl, and informs him that he already has a buyer for it, but Pete does not answer so as not to reveal his cover. This throws the entire plan for a loop, but Erica still chooses to follow them. At a club, the buyer expresses concern and acknowledges that he lacks sufficient funds to purchase all 6 pounds. However, he can secure additional funds for the remaining 3, valued at $80,000, a situation that irritates Stasek. Pete calms him down, starts questioning him about how he'll raise the $80,000 in 2 hours, and begins to distrust him. When Stasek goes to take a call, Pete confronts him about being a cop and tells him to leave before Stasek and the others find out. Pete pretends to push him out, intending to save him, but things take a drastic turn. The man displays his police badge and gun, which prompts Stasek to shoot him dead. Pete gets shocked by the assassination of a police officer, knowing the dangers attached to it. He claims that he needs to smoke, signaling Erica to come in, but she cancels the arrangement and drives past Pete, leaving him on his own. He then helps bag and dispose of the body. Pete is escorted into a sausage factory, where he meets the General. He calmly explains to him that someone must take responsibility for the death of a New York cop to prevent the NYPD from becoming overly involved. Despite the fact that Stasek was the one who killed the cop, the General portrays Stasek as having saved Pete's life and thus owing him his life's worth. To repay his obligation, he begs Pete to go to prison and run the drug network from the inside for 5 years. To further scare him, the General instructs him to think about his family, leaving him with no choice. Pete returns to his family and gets into an argument with Sophia, blaming her for not leaving. Sophia explains that she couldn't leave without him, and they immediately reconcile. Later, she assists him in washing off the blood. The police discover the body, and Detective Grenz, who assigned the deceased the task, sets out to locate the culprit. He quickly uncovers the connection between his friend's murder and a Polish gang, finds video evidence, and establishes Pete's involvement. Pete, Erica, and her superior, Montgomery, meet and inform Pete that he is in major trouble. They have tried to hide everything, but to no effect. He wants to leave, but they want to follow the General's plan so that Pete takes on the task in prison. If he gathers sufficient evidence in the state prison about the fentanyl distribution network, his release is imminent. However, if he declines, his identity as an undercover agent would come to light, leading to a prison sentence for the murder of an undercover cop. There isn't much choice. Back at home, Pete stores the recordings of his chat with Erica in a box. In the morning, Stasek pays him a visit and provides him with some fentanyl to help him slip into prison. Pete tells Sophia about his new covert assignment. He spends the entire day with his daughter, noting the layout of the prison. When they return home, a Polish gang and the General pay him a visit. He claims to have no children because he can't bear to lose them. With that, he warns Pete to play his part, or else his family might face the consequences. Grenz has been monitoring Pete's home, and he informs his partner that the General has left. The following day, Pete assumes the role of an abusive husband, prompting Sophia to call the police for his arrest, which Grenz then witnesses. A crooked guard kindly greets Pete in prison and leads him to his bunk bed. African Americans surround the bunk bed, but one of the inmates bribes the guard to ensure Pete's security. Some of the general's men have been waiting for Pete to assist him in the distribution. During the night raid, Warden approaches Pete and enrolls him in a cleaning program at Erica's request. Pete familiarizes himself with his Polish prison gang members and receives a shift assignment to prepare for an impending confrontation. Grenz pays Erica a visit and asks for information on Pete, but she denies knowing him. Montgomery joins them and tries to calm the situation by explaining that they have no connection to Pete. But after showing them pictures of Pete and Erica taken by a surveillance camera the day Grenz's friend died, he warns them that there will be a war between the FBI and the NYPD, and they will be in serious trouble if they are involved with Pete. Sophia follows Pete's instructions on how to deliver the treats to the prison and, using the drone, lands the bird on the prison's roof. Pete cleans the roof in the morning as part of the cleaning schedule and successfully retrieves it. Grenz goes to Sophia's workplace to learn more about Pete. At this point, he's unsure whether Pete is the perpetrator. Sophia tells him he can help him and that he should leave. Grenz leaves her his card so she can contact him if she changes her mind. Grenz then contacts Pete through one of his informants, telling him that he will no longer have his gang in the yard, and that if he wants to survive, he must signal his willingness to discuss the undercover cop's death. The crooked officer brings Pete to Phelps, an African-American gang boss who dominates the prison's drug trade and believes Pete is infringing on his territory. Phelps and his men attempt to kill Pete, but he reveals that he is an undercover FBI spy who wants to bring down the general. He is subsequently released, and Phelps agrees to give him the information he seeks since taking the general down would be an advantage to him. Meanwhile, back at the FBI headquarters, Montgomery directs Erica to kill Pete and stop any operations involving the general because Grenz is on their tail and Pete is an unofficial informant. If the NYPD finds out what happened in the room where the undercover cop was shot, she would lose not just her profession, but also end up in prison. If she doesn't cooperate, Montgomery promises she would be the sacrificial lamb. Pete takes a leak at night. He is on edge when one of Phelps's men approaches him and provides him with the names of General's men in charge of the drug distribution. Later, he calls Erica and informs her that he has worked out the General's entire network and wants her to get him out. He is in danger, but Erica declines because she has been told to take him out and would rather save her own skin. Pete calls Sophia again and tells her to send over the footage of his contacts with Erica to Grenz before leaving the state. Erica approaches Sophia and takes the tapes. The FBI overheard her phone chat with Pete. Erica, overcome with guilt, listens to the records and hears her promise to protect Sophia and his daughter. In prison, one of Phelps's men warns Pete of the incoming danger. He prepares for the battle, but his shiv is missing. While looking for it, he is assaulted by a Polish gang member. Pete manages to overcome and strangle him. One of the guards notices him on the CCTV and an alert is made. When the corrupt guard arrives at the scene, he kidnaps him and demands to speak to the press and his wife. He then finds his way to a deserted tower and hits the guard unconscious. He takes the radio to see whether his demands are met and marks the lookout angles from the windows based on his former training as a U.S. Army sniper. Meanwhile, Stasek confronts Pete's family, hence Sophia calls Detective Grenz for help. Shortly afterwards, Grenz arrives at Pete's residence and kills one of the men. He makes his way up the stairs and is shot in the leg. He does not shoot back because Stasek is holding Anna hostage and has lost his gun in the scuffle. As Stasek is ready to finish off Grenz, Sophia manages to get free and shoots Stasek in the back before being shot too. Grenz gets an upper hand and finishes him too. At the prison, snipers have taken up positions, and Montgomery arrives on the scene, ready to issue the order to shoot Pete at the first opportunity. The warden is there to accommodate Pete's needs. Pete contacts his wife to inform her he is going to get out of this position and gets a chance to talk to Anna too. Pete depicts himself holding the guard hostage to outplay the snipers who are looking for a perfect shot. He changes the clothes with the guard, wakes him up, and allows the corrupt guard to take advantage. He then reveals himself to the snipers, who shoot the guard and puncture one of the CO2 tanks. Part of his plan, Pete takes cover as the whole place sets ablaze. Montgomery notifies Erica that the task is complete shortly after she gets on the scene and discovers the prison is on fire. When the firefighters carry Pete to the ambulance in the guard's outfit, she recognizes him and enters with him. After all, she intends to help Pete, who later takes everyone hostage. She hands him a note and a phone, and he runs away. Later, Erica meets Montgomery on a ferry and reveals to knowing Pete's location. He openly orders her to kill him, but it is all a setup, as Erica has been wiretapped and has alerted the NYPD about Montgomery's shady operations, and he is arrested. Pete wishes to meet up with his family, but when he sees Erica, he notices that there are many undercover agents on the scene. Grenz approaches him and hands him travel documents from Erica, telling him he needs to stay low for a bit until things calm down. Before returning to his hiding place, he makes one final glance at Sophia. The agents seem to have seen him, but Pete manages to elude them, bringing the movie to the end. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.